Great to have you with us. Now, the majority in Parliament has described the push for a parliamentary probe into a cash for seats by the Trade Ministry as an effort in futility, as they insist it will not yield much. Minority Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak has written a memo to the Speaker demanding an emergency sit-in to consider a motion for parliamentary probe into the scandal. The House is currently on recess, but about 80 minority MPs are believed to have signed the petition to recall the House ahead of time. Speaking to Joy News, First Deputy Majority Chief Whip Matthew Nyindam downplayed the move by the minority. He insists there is nothing to be uncovered by another probe since the ministry involved has already clarified the issue.
Sometimes we politicians, it's difficult for us to be predicted. When you are this way, you begin to think differently. When you go the other way, you begin to think differently. Some people think we don't have principles. Because I remember vividly, very clear that when they were in the majority, when this issue about the Ford Explorer came, we said the same thing. They refused and arrested the motion without even a recall. I remember when this issue about 14th came, when we petitioned and we came, they never even allowed us to move the motion on the floor. These are even damning issues, but they never gave us the opportunity to be heard. Today, the same people who were saying that it was a waste of taxpayers' money and were calling on Dominic to pay all members of parliament who came for the recall, they were asking him to personally pay us our TNT and sitting allowance for calling us and wasting our time. These are the same people who are calling us to come to Parliament on this issue about the trade minister, where the presidency came out clearly that they don't see anything wrong with it. In any way, I am not the speaker. And for that matter, I cannot say whether the speaker will recall Parliament or not. But I think that sometimes we should have principles.
With the examples you gave, am I to understand that your side of the House may attempt to arrest the motion if need be?
Well, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but I cannot speak for somebody. But I think that we are all Ghanaians, and we should be measured with the same yardstick. If yesterday what you saw wrong was wrong, today you should see it as wrong. And some colleagues are also there. They may arrest the motion.
But one would say that they failed to, that is, allow for such motions to stand in the past, like you mentioned, and that is why their government was voted out of power. So in the interest of transparency, it's only fair that you allow this motion to pass and have the matter probed further. If there is nothing to be uncovered, definitely the truth will be made public to all.
I sincerely believe that as a government, and like the president said, no one has anything to hide. And you know the president redirected the trade minister to give the public the facts, or what he told him, the president, that he's convinced. They should let the public know. We have nothing to hide. And like I said, it is solely the speaker who has the power to recall Parliament. Those of you who are in the media fraternity, you understand the issues, you dig into the issues, and you get the facts for yourself. But I think that it is nothing. They are just coming to waste everybody's time. And let's come back and see. They will have nothing to say. Absolutely nothing to say, I'm telling you.
That was Matthew Nyindam, Deputy Majority Whip. Now, joining me on the telephone line is Minority Spokesperson on Finance, Kazel Atoforsen, to delve a bit deeper into this issue. Honorable, thanks for your time. The Deputy Majority Whip says your petition will amount to nothing and that the issues you have raised have been resolved.
Interesting. Let me say that I heard him when he was speaking, but I was disappointed. I thought he was going to say that obviously we have a point and there's a need for the people of this country to hear from us. Yes, the president has cleared the Ministry of Trade of possible wrongdoing, but we are not satisfied. We want to know what constituted the reason why they decided to clear them. They have not given us the fact. They have not given us report. We know and we are convinced of wrongdoing. The key questions we want to ask is that, one, was the access fee, does it amount to what we call public fund? If it is public fund, have they accounted for that public fund? Did they follow laid down procedures in collecting the public fund as in the PFM law and again as in the fees and charges amendment? So clearly, we want to make sure that whether the Trade Ministry follow the laid out procedures, fail to adhere to our laws and breach the Constitution. Because we have no doubt in our mind that they breach the Constitution of this republic, because that money concerned is a public fund. You decided to charge access fee for people who are going to sit by the president, and you are telling us it is not public fund. Impossible. We need to delve deeper. The auditor, you see, I was of the opinion that the president was going to appoint an independent body to examine what may have gone wrong or right in the dealings of the access fee charge. But the president cannot just appoint 2-3 people at the Flagstaff House and whitewash the Ministry of Trade. We won't accept it. We want to delve deeper in this matter.
So you were initially saying that you'd want to find out the reasons for the president clearing the Trades Ministry of any wrongdoing, and the fact that you would want to find out a few more details about this. The president called the Honorable Alan Tremantin to Flagstaff House, questioned him, instructed him to make the facts of the case known to the public. The Trades Ministry, signed by the minister, has released a statement signed by the minister, and you are not satisfied with the facts put out by the minister?
Not at all. In fact, we see what was put out, if I may lump it up and say it's just a whitewash. We are asking for a bipartisan probe, a parliamentary probe into the matter. We want to know whether the amount concerned was indeed a fundraising. Was it a public fund? Did they charge the right fee under the Fees and Charges Act? Did they actually follow the PFM law in disbursing the amount and which account that money was? So we'll be asking for detail. We want to see the bank account that payments were made into. If he says that they collected 2.6 million, we want evidence of the 2.6 million. We want to know the bank account. We want to do forensic audit into the matter. That is what we are asking Parliament to do. And it's important that we do that for the people of this country.
I understand that you'd like to get more details of this matter, but in that statement released by the Trade Minister, he did say that the monies, a percentage of the monies were kept at the Trade Ministry for the organizing of future awards of this nature, and that essentially all the money went back to Millennium Excellence Foundation, who were the organizers of this event.
My brother, you may be satisfied, I'm not. Ghana is not a banana republic. This is a country run by a constitution. This is a country run by rules and regulation, laws, LIs. Okay? So let us satisfy ourselves that if whether or not the Trade Ministry has breached any law or not, let me point something to you. They're saying they have retained a percentage of the money. Under what circumstances are they retaining that money? Does that money constitute public funds? Does that money constitute public funds, and do they have the authority under the IGF rule to use it? Were that money approved by Parliament? Please, let's delve into deeper into this matter. Let us not just accept what the government comes and say, because in the interest of trying to whitewash somebody and for someone to look clean. The government is in trouble. Let them admit that there was some wrongdoing somewhere. I have no doubt in my mind that there was wrongdoing in what the Ministry of Trade did.
Honorable,
what Carlos Ayinkra did.
Honorable, Matthew Nyenda mentioned that in previous parliaments where you were a member, members of the majority and the present minority were members, the then minority, which is now in majority, made attempts to have similar probes into issues. I'm reminded, for instance, of the issue of the Ford gift that President Mahama is said to have received. The minority then pushed for a probe. The majority then pushed it aside. Some would say that it's just the same thing playing itself again. Why now do you want a probe when earlier you did not want a parliamentary probe into a public matter?
My brother, let me say something. I remember very well when the then minority, led by Dominic Little, now Minister for Defense, brought a motion to the House for us to look at the issue relating to the Ford saga. You'll recall that at that time, the matter had already gone to Shraj. So the Speaker ruled that since the matter is being investigated by Shraj, of which the issue concerned our conflict of interest, and the fact that conflict of interest jurisdiction is with Shraj, he, the Speaker, will not admit that motion because he thinks that Shraj is already dealing with that. And Shraj is clothed with his constitutional powers to deal with conflict of interest. And so, therefore, Parliament will not be an appropriate place to deal with that matter. That is different from this matter. I want to ask you a question. The issue relating to the Ministry of Trade, was it addressed by Shraj or by the Flagstaff House? Flagstaff House is not Shraj. We are asking that if indeed the president means well for this republic, I would have thought that he would have set up an independent body or referred the matter to the Auditor General or Shraj to investigate this. In fact, if I was the president,
so you suspect corruption. You suspect corruption in this. For which reason?
No, it's not suspicion. It's not that we are suspecting this.
The Speaker of Parliament,
Honourable,
Honourable,
you can smell corruption.
Right, Honourable. The Speaker of Parliament at the time made a decision based on his knowledge of the law as he knew. And that decision bordered on the fact that if there's another body investigating this, there's no need.
Another independent body.
Yes.
Independent body.
If there's another body all the same, Honourable, yes, independent investigating this, then there's no need for Parliament to go into it. Someone can look at this and say it's a similar case. Another body has looked into this. The appointing body in this case.
There are two different staff. Let us accept that. Flagstaff House is not a constitutional body clothed with authority to investigate issues of this nature.
But you are asking the president.
They are the executive, okay?
You have repeatedly.
So that is why I use the word independent.
That's fine, sir.
You cannot equate the functions of Shraj to mean the functions of the Flagstaff House.
That's
the executive,
fine, sir.
Alan Chamantin is a member of the executive. They're only trying to clear themselves. That is different.
Honourable, that's fine. Honourable, that's fine. Shraj, in a sense, it can be said to be independent from the executive, though that is debatable because the head of Shraj is appointed by the president.
Go to the Constitution and check.
Sir, no, that's not my question. That's not my question. That's not my question. My question then is that you have said that you expected the president to appoint an independent committee to investigate the matter. Would this committee have been equal to Shraj? Because you are saying that they should have done that.
I gave you options that I would have thought that matter of this nature, the president at the minimum would have asked Shraj, Auditor General, or the Auditor General to constitute a special audit.
You did mention. I heard that.
A special audit. So until that time, I'm not convinced. I am not convinced. You can't tell me that the chief of staff constituting a team that they use one day to clear the minister is enough, and so we should cross over it. That is not adequate. That cannot be adequate, and that is not good enough.
Right, thank you very much, Honourable Kezalato Forson. He's Member of Parliament, and he's the ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, minority spokesperson on finance issues as well. We'll move on and talk about the Water Resources and Sanitation Minister, Joseph Kofi Adda, because he has revealed that government will deploy over 80,000 smart prepaid meters to homes of consumers in 2018. The project will start with high-density areas of Accra, Kumasi, and Takoradi. Previous attempts to introduce these meters have been met with stiff opposition from many who fear it will lead to scarcity of the utility. But speaking on Upfront with Raymond Akwa, the minister explained the move is to ensure that government saves more money since half of all the water pumped by Ghana Water Company is wasted.
The Ghanaians were opposed to it?
It is ongoing. As a matter of fact,
really?
the reason why
still bent on doing that?
The reason why I'm sitting here with a little cold is that I just came back from Denmark.
Okay.
Where we went to visit the factory and to be taken through the way the meters operate there.
But we had a pilot system done already.
Yes, but we needed to have high volumes of them to be able to make sure you and I get.
Okay.
These are more or less, they call them smart meters or remote control meters that are sealed and packaged. They cannot be tampered with by you and I. By screwing them, getting them out of the shell and running the gears, whatever. These are digital ones.
So government's plan is to go ahead with this policy.
It is going on with that.
When will it start?
Well, it is ongoing. 80,000 meters have been acquired. We're looking to acquire a lot more. The funding has been the problem that we're negotiating.
Has the 80,000 meters been deployed to homes already?
No, it's not been deployed yet. It's not been deployed.
So when will the deployment done?
I have not this week checked with the Minister of, with the Ghana Water Company to know how far they've gotten with that. But the 40,000 that first came did not come with the valves. So they were going back to get the valves. I think the first 40,000 valves have come along with that. The second 40,000 either have been delivered or they're being delivered.
Should we expect this to happen in the new year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That should
January?
happen. Yes. Well, January, I can't say January. It will depend on the engineers. They have the implementation plans and all the mobilization things have to go through.
How many regions will have the first implementation plan and commence?
I think it'd be wise for us to look at the areas of high concentration.
Like?
The urban areas.
So
like
it will not
be... That's where we can get high volumes of income.
Oh, okay. So that's where you're starting from?
Yes, yes. We're not just starting from that alone. Where we're also implementing new water treatment plants, such as WA, for instance. We can deploy those there to make sure that there's a new culture, a new way of doing things with this new water treatment plant that was commissioned by the president not too long ago. So if we can get those, we're about, I think about 20,000 customer base in WA. I think 3,000 is what we've just commissioned is addressing. So there's room there for about 17,000 if my memory serves me right. So if we can get these smart meters in all those places, it means that we can be sure that we're collecting the revenue from all these.
How much money is that supposed to save us?
Oh, we'll be saving us upwards of $100 and something million.
Still watching Joy News today. Now, Ranking Member of Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Adam Mutawakilu, is accusing government of deliberately covering up incidents of corruption in its first year of office. Adam Mutawakilu cites the sale of contaminated fuel by bulk oil storage company BOST as a clear case where wrongdoing has been perpetrated and the result of independent investigation is yet to be seen. He insists the Ministry of Energy must produce the report.
Since 2017, we've been hearing scandal here, scandal there, which is no good for the energy sector. For example, moving Pina, BOST, contaminated fuel, 500 million Ghana cedis, was an issue that we discussed, and we, the minority, called for an independent investigation. The minister set up a committee to investigate, and the minister's statement, he made it clear that within a month, they should submit the report. We are 4 months down the lane, no report, cover up. This is a clear cover-up for wrongdoing. And will this lead us anywhere? No.
As a member of parliament, have you demanded for the report, and what was the response you got?
The minister was invited by a member of our committee, Honorable Bauer. He indicated that very soon the report will be ready, and he made it available to the committee. As we speak today, he has forgotten of his own statement that should be submitted within 1 month. And as we see today, the committee haven't received any report. So he was called and questioned, and committee up to today we haven't. So that means the report is not even ready.
Adam Mutawakilu also names the alleged diversion of premixed fuel as another issue bordering on corruption and even conflict of interest that is yet to be resolved.
We are in this country, premixed fuel, knowing very well that premixed fuel is very critical to our fishermen and fisher food, being diverted, making these fishermen to suffer to get premix. And they claim that an investigation has been set up when there is a source for arrest, because it is clear that the Landing Beach Committee members signed that they had received this premixed fuel on behalf of the fishermen, and that it will be delivered to the fishermen. At the end of the day, it was diverted. That is the first point of arrest. We call on the government to effect the arrest of these premixed Landing Beach Committee members and start a bottom-up investigation. The government ignored us and set up a committee up to date. It has been silent. 22 million Ghana cedis lost, and the minister has not said anything. 2, there's so far no action. We call for the dismissal of the Minister of Fisheries for conflict of interest. Because becoming a minister, he appointed the brother to head the premix committee. And that has started all this. But if we had arrested the Landing Beach Committee members, then you realize that they will tell you who asked them to sign when, at the same time, knowing that the fuel will not get to the fishermen. Up to date, government is silent on it.
So what's enjoying us today? Now, did you know that even in this festive season, there are some people who are surviving on one meal a day?
We hungry, but we don't have food, so we cannot eat.
Still watching Joy News today. Now, you may have added a few kilos to your weight this festive season, and you may be planning to eat more in a few days. But in Biro, a small town in Lawra district of the Upper West region, some families are mindful of the quantity of food to eat. Binge eating would mean no food for them till the end of April. The family of 8 cannot afford 3 square meals a day, but they remain hopeful. Jojo Kobna has more.
Dry savanna land of Biro in the Lawra district of the Upper West region. The Sansong family of 8 has finished harvesting for the year. They wish to farm all year round, but poor rains and no source of irrigation has limited their work. In this period, they are supposed to be in high spirits, but their yield is rather small, so they are mindful of the quantity of food to eat till the next farming season, which will be in April 2018. Isaac Sansong describes his family as poor because they do not have enough food.
We are poor. We have land to farm, but there's no more rain to rain, and we get the things.
This time that you have food, how many times do you eat in a day?
2 times.
When you have food, you eat 2 times. And then when you don't have food?
1 time. We hungry, but we don't have food, so we cannot eat.
When there is no food, what happens in this house?
We normally sick, so because of no food.
His father recollects how his 3 young children cry for more food, but he becomes helpless.
That the way we are eating, that is not enough food for us to stay here for long. That they normally let this adult eat small and then give enough to the children. That if that at home the children have not even get to that, they normally cry.
He therefore sent his oldest son, Alfred Sanson, to travel to Brongahafu region to farm and support them.
So we don't have food. He went to serve for money to come and help us for our food problem.
Why don't you cry when you don't have food?
If we cry, it's not the crying that will bring us food. That's why we normally keep silent.
Matthew says 10 years ago, farming was better because of more rains. But climate change has made the rainy season unpredictable, and this has affected food production. He plans on resettling his family to southern Ghana if the drought in Biro persists, but letting go of his family land and finding a new land to farm is a major headache. Isaac is excited about moving to southern Ghana. He has never been to Wa, what is just 2 hours drive away.
I heard Wa is a nice place, but I have not even go there. Now I want to go if I get a chance.
Isaac has big dreams and wants to see Accra. To him, all the people in Accra are rich, and he definitely wants to see all the good things he has dreamt about.
Our teacher tells us that Accra is a great city. That Accra, that they have sea there, that there's a lot of fish. That if you joke there, it will catch you. That if you go there, you have to take care. If not, fish will catch you. I want to go to Accra and see how all the beautiful things and a lot of cats, that they are rich. And then the house and the parliamentarians, those who are parliaments and know the president house. so that if I see that, I'm also proud to learn how and go there and become somebody.
If government fails to ensure equitable distribution of resources and manage expectations of opportunities in southern Ghana, then many young people would continue to hold dreams that the grass is greener down south. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
Indeed, a chilling story there, and it's part of Joy News' Let's Be Fair campaign, where we bring to the fore issues of inequality across the country. Now, let's keep talking a bit about Christmas, because festivities are being marked by many individuals the world over, but there are a minority for whom the entire celebration is an expensive luxury. Joy News' Komla Adom has been spending nights with the homeless on the streets of Accra during the Christmas period, and the first part of this special feature reports on the huge inequalities that exist between the haves and the have-nots.
It's a different kind of world, another reality altogether. And in your picture at the moment are boys and girls, men and women, literally kicking in the Christmas festivities in a grand style. Here is Purple Pabinusu.
It's a packed place. I could barely find a footpath. Such is the celebration this side of town. 25-year-old Kwesi Gai in his black snapback tells me he's marking this year's Christmas festivities in some style. He's here with his friends.
I'm enjoying myself because I know in very few days we are going to end 2017, and God willing we're going to see 2018 live and colored. So I'm very happy.
It's been a tough year, but at least we've been through. So at least we're out there to just make fun.
It's nearly 2 a.m. and the numbers keep growing. Christmas is about warmth, love, and family. But there are so many people living on Accra's streets who have none of these. 3 or more different worlds, different realities. The disparities are embarrassingly glaring that not even the ones embraced Christmas festivities can bridge. At least not at this moment. I have come to the Mamobi Nima bus terminal here at Seko to gauge the mood of those who use this place as their only place of abode. For these individuals, today is just another day in their lives.
I'm here to essentially interact with some of the rough sleeping conductors of the various buses who are parked here, and I've seen quite a number of them. Some of them are here. We'll try to gauge their mood, how the festivities have kicked in for them and all of that. So let me attempt to wake some of them up.
With that, with the Christmas now, who didn't say?
Yes, my son, yeah, maybe because I would be a mate was here and no condition a woman was a woman every day.
See, now, our family for more ever.
More of Darcy.
There's no time I'm upon a coffee.
Oh, say, I say, no, family being here, say, open a caramel abada, and I channel power master banner, say, master started Juma, because me has a number, BBN has a intimate poem, that kind of
need dangerous.
Oh, that be say, high station, young choir. Maybe so, baby, was that's a mean to me, yeah. We shall to shout to Uncle Forest or Yaba.
What about mosquitoes, malaria, Yarenia daily?
Mosquitoes in the Omo habit, so quaint, you know, Omentini.
Timothy has been here for the past 5 years, and briefly, I'm sure he'll tell us his story.
See, for the years that pass, some goes well. Okay. And we enjoy ourselves much. But this one is like the things have changed. But this year I'm not celebrating it. But through last year, so I went to my village. But this year I didn't went to my village.
A few meters away from here lay at least 15 or maybe more rough sleeping men wrapped in pieces of dirty, stained cloths, snoring the night away. So it's been over an hour and 30 minutes of struggle trying to lay my head rough here on the streets, because the next moment you're thinking about being knocked down by a straying vehicle or even rolling and falling off a cliff. On a cold night such as this, or even during Christmas, these individuals have to spend the rest of the night every day on these streets right here at Circle.
I say I all have a Christmas and the Libya, but I still that's all team come and suddenly yesterday the man compensate on my Christmas now to India. It is still that's all come.
Last year by this time Christmas now when he found out saying now we didn't.
Christmas the last year I'm going my message and it didn't come by more second me house by say the Christmas the mini be clear.
Now other hand we am in show say if your car be trim na car ne ebofa hanom na abebo wana say obe mini ato amnani mu wo honom.
Oh we dey yakopa dum tie bibia nsim wogide se bibia ntimi nsi say yan car bi etimi atwafa yan so ha de.
Mesa, also not his real name, has been sleeping rough for the past months. For him, next year's celebrations may bring a better story. I asked him if he knew he was risking his life sleeping out here.
I feel soon. I wasn't go be a coffee there, but Minyanya was a code. There should be a next year. My home was a milk. Yamiadum Christmas there, a quay. Go unam kruma uze enyeme koso kama pa.
Na me pacho mi twem no me say na o da hat.
Oh, hade enya dia ihu.
Enyo kambo bia wa hada wo.
Oh, kai de ebi mo bia ha ba bia da.
Minim say mosquitoes ne malaria ne ade ade ya bebe o da ha, are you not risking your life, mosquitoes and sicknesses like malaria?
Umza de ba nyaminti. Bien timisi. Tuntum de very over. Yamene boni pa oba.
Ti omo da sa street we so no uni momo. Like uni omo individually.
Oh minimo bia.
Ti mo bana mo beda de chia na ma sorry na ma pa me afa.
Expect more on that special feature by Joy News' Kamla Adam tonight on Joy News Prime. But now it's time for business with Daryl Kwao.